Hello and welcome back to Boxing Social in association with Betfred. My name is Eamon Khan and I'm here with the one and only Jake Henty. Jake, how's life treating you?
Yeah, life's good at the minute, yeah. Training hard and getting ready for the second pro fight, yeah. So life's brilliant, yeah.
Let's get to all that in a second. First of all, it might be a little bit too late for all this, but Happy New Year and also Merry Christmas. How was everything last year?
Yeah, everything's brilliant. Last year I only got out once. Obviously I made my pro debut last year, so yeah, everything's good. It was a start last year, but this year's obviously I have more fights and time to prove myself this year.
It's one of those things I find quite interesting in terms of fighters who make their pro debut. Some fighters say that coming into it they have nerves, or they don't have nerves, and when it comes to actual fight night, the nerves kind of sink in. How did you kind of feel when you made your debut?
I had no nerves at all for my debut. I put a lot of work into this camp, and it's just another day in the office for me. I do a lot of sparring, a lot of hard sparring, so for me it's just another day in the office. It was, yeah, a tough opponent, but I've done a good job, and yeah, make a few improvements, and on to the next.
How do you assess your performance from your debut? Do you feel like you've shown everything that you wanted to show in that first fight?
I mean, it's hard in your first fight to show everything. It's your first time. I mean, it's not just my first time getting in and boxing as a pro. It's the first time with the audience there. It's the first time you'll call. There's a load of different things that go into it. So you can't obviously. Well, once I had my best performance, I boxed very well. I'm very happy with how I boxed for my first fight. But there's a lot more to show, a lot more to go.
And you've got more to show on the 11th of March, is what you're fighting on, the Frank Warren show, the Prospect show, coming up soon at York Hall. Tell me about how this kind of came about.
How the fight come about?
Yeah.
Just Frank Warren got in touch with me and said that I'll be fighting on. Well, obviously my manager sorted it out and said I'll be fighting on the 11th of March. So obviously it's good for me, getting me back out. I mean, it's only 3 months ago I had a fight now, so I want to try and get out as much as possible. Really, I want to try and move up in the pro ranks as much as possible. More rounds next fight. I was meant to have 6 rounds in my first fight. My opponent was too old, so I had to go down to 4. But for the next few now, it's going to be 6, then 8. I want to try and push the ranks as quick as I can because I'm training full time.
In terms of your goals, then, for you had your debut. You got a full year now. You're saying you want to be out as much as possible, but how many times do you expect to be out? What do you want?
I think I may be able to get out 3 or 4 times. I mean, if it was for me, I'd be out every week, but it don't work like that in the boxing. So you just have to wait your turn, I suppose, and yeah.
In terms of people who haven't seen you fight before and people wanting to get to know a bit more about yourself, what got you into boxing in the first place?
My cousins used to box, and that kind of used to go and watch them as a kid, and that's what kind of pushed me towards the boxing, really. And yeah, here I am now boxing. So yeah, it's been a long journey. I started when I was very young. I started 4 or 5 years old, so it's been a long journey of boxing for me.
And in terms of your style, what do you kind of fight like as well?
I'm a southpaw. I'm quite a elusive fighter. I'm strong. I can box all different ways. On the inside, on the outside. However we need to box for that night to get the win. That's how we box.
And in terms of like kind of advice, people or fighters get advice when they get their debut. Was there one kind of bit of advice that you got that stuck with you, that you took in with you to your debut?
Not really. Just most people say don't get hit or put more pressure on, but when you're trying to put a bit of pressure on, it's easy saying it, but when you're blowing, it's not as easy as that.
No, that's fair enough. Let's get your thoughts on a couple of other things in the wider boxing sphere that I'd like to get your thoughts on. First of all, let's talk about the big thing that's going on, the big discussion, which is Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, Alexander Usyk. What's kind of going to happen there? Are you watching that scene? Are you seeing what's happened there? What do you think is going to happen?
I'm honest, I don't watch boxing at all. I mean, I watch my favourite fighters are probably Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, Josh Taylor as well. So, I mean, other than that, really, I don't really watch the boxing. I'm not too interested in watching the boxing at all. I mean, I just like going in there and fighting. That's what I like to do.
Maybe we can talk a bit about Josh Taylor and Jack Catterall then. How do you see that fight going?
Obviously, I think Taylor's got way too much experience for Catterall, but you know, you have to see how it goes on the night. I mean, you never know with the boxing, but Yeah, Josh Taylor's looking brilliant in the gym. He's looking sharp and we're having good spars. I mean, I'm a little bit heavier than Taylor as well, and he's a strong fighter, and I think he'll give Catchall a lot of problems, but he's going to get the win.
And let's bring this back to you, Jake. You're fighting out on March 11th. What can people expect to see from you when you get back in the ring for your second outing?
People are seeing me this time maybe a little bit more relaxed, even though I was very relaxed on the first fight, surprisingly, for a pro debut. But yeah, hopefully you're going to see a knockout this time. I mean, we've been training very, very hard. I've been doing a lot of rounds in the gym. I mean, I'm sparring. I'm doing 9 to 10 rounds. I'm only fighting a 6-round fight, so this should be a walk in the park for me.
Is that something that you want to kind of tick off, getting that knockout as well?
Of course, yeah. If no one wants to see a points victory, everyone wants to see a knockout. I mean, it's easier said than done, but yeah, knockouts. That's the way forward. It's what puts bums on seats.
I wish you all the best on your second outing. Where can people find you who want to follow your journey on social media?
I'm on Instagram, and that's about it really. I'm not really big into social media, but yeah, you'll be able to see me on Instagram, and hopefully if Frank Warren keeps uploading my fights and they get on television. I missed a slot last time, which was unlucky, but yeah, hopefully through TV and social media and whatnot.
What's your handle on Instagram?
It's Jake Henty 2022.
Jake, all the best. Thank you so much for speaking to Boxing Social.